Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I think I'm going to return back to China and I have a Type 13 Menu 1. But it isn't going to be this Type 13 Menu 1, it's going to be the Emergency Survival Ration Type 13 Menu 1. Now as you can see it's quite a lot smaller. It is the survival ration. So let's get this out on the table and see what the pack contains. Okay, so we now have these items on the table, and again just for comparison, just like to show you the regular Type 13 Chinese Menu 1 next to the one we're reviewing today, the survival ration, the survival version, and as you can see there is quite a difference in size. So let's just move this one out of the way for now and open the survival ration and see what we have inside. Now, very simple packaging, a bit lighter in strength than the normal Type 13. We'll just open the bag. A little bit easier to open, almost like a standard plastic bag. And I believe we have some, I think that is beef in sauce. There is some, I think they're pickles. I've tried to translate the outside of the bag. It does say beef in sauce and pickles. And there is 2 packets of Type 13 dried biscuit. So that is the entire contents. I cannot see any drinks or anything else. It's purely a survival food ration. So let's get this on a tray and see what they look and taste like. So as you can see, we now have everything that was in that ration laid out on a tray. I have just one of the packet of biscuits. I don't need to open them both, they are both the same. And I have here the beef in sauce and radish pickles. So let's get these open and see what they're like. Now it's very tightly vacuum packed. It does have a list of ingredients which is mainly sort of flour, compressed wheat and various other like sugar and salts, and a nice little tear strip. So let's see if we get any sort of hiss. No, there's no hiss there. And there is 2 individually wrapped biscuits. Now on opening there's quite a pleasant smell. It smells like candy floss. You know the smell of candy floss you get on the fairgrounds? It smells very similar to that, but there is 2 of those biscuits. So if the taste is anything to go by with the smell, that should be enjoyable. I can still smell that, still coming off. And let's have a look at the beef. I'm not warming this up, I'm just eating it cold because with it being a survival ration, I'm assuming you're in dire need and you wouldn't have time to open things, warm things up, sorry. Now, I should just squeeze this out onto the top. Again, a small piece of beef. Does have a pleasant smell though as we go. That smells like a corned beef already. A very pungent smell of corned beef. And the pickles, same again, little tear strip. They do open nice. So I think this is radish, pickled radish. And we'll squeeze them out onto that one. A bit difficult to get out of the pack. Okay, now again there is no cutlery, but I'll bring in the Chinese spoon that I've had from a previous ration and we'll just break the meat up a little bit, and I think that's probably where we'll start. So that's broken up. There is a nice looking piece of beef. It's got a smell like corned beef, tinned corned beef. I'll have a taste. Excuse me. That is very, very coarse. It's like almost like a jerky. Not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting a soft sort of beef, but it is actually like a jerky strip. It's quite dry and chewy, but pleasant, salty, very dry, very thirst provoking. Not a lot of sauce. It did say a lot of sauce, but it's salty. Very much like a jerky, a beef jerky, without all of the spices that you associate with jerky, just the beef itself. Quite chewy, quite meaty, but still quite pleasant. Okay, now I'm assuming you'll be expected to drink plenty of water with this, so I've just got some water to clean my palate. Obviously the soldiers will be drinking straight out of their canteens. Okay, so let's have a look at the pickled radish. Just little slices of yellow radish vegetable, probably Chinese radish. Have a bite of that. Very crunchy, very crispy. It's a sweet vinegar type sauce in there, a very, very sweet vinegar. It's quite pleasant, unusual texture, very crunchy, but again a pleasant little side. Very sweet, a sweet vinegar flavour. I think this must be from the radish. Also a little bit of heat, a small amount of heat. Very similar to like a horseradish. If you have that horseradish, it's got a bit of heat there. Okay, so let's have a look at one of these compressed bars. It does smell quite fruit flavoured, and one of the ingredients did say grape. So it's a fair old mix of ingredients of flour and grape and other compressed ingredients. So it's quite a solid looking bar. Let's see if it breaks easy. Oh, it's quite brittle. Quite brittle, quite thick. Let's have a taste. A dry biscuity taste, as you'd expect. A texture like in the UK we have a biscuit called shortbread, Scottish shortbread, very much like that. So like a very, for the American viewers, if you don't have shortbread, it's like a very dry cookie, chocolate chip cookie, but with no chips in it, chocolate chips in it. Very crumbly, not overly sweet. It's quite satisfying. I would quite happily eat a couple of these. I don't know if I could eat 4 of them in one sitting because they're very thirst provoking, but very sweet. It isn't a sort of biscuit I would normally associate of eating with beef and pickles. This is a sort of biscuit that in the UK we'd dip into tea, dunk into tea, like a shortbread. Let's try it with a little bit of beef because it is quite sweet. It's an unusual combination. That does go. It's not a combination we'd be used to here in the UK. A shortbread and jerky mix, but it is quite pleasant. I'll try a little bit with the pickle. Excuse me. It's very drying in the mouth. Makes it very difficult to swallow. You do need to have water. And try the pickle. Again, that's an unusual flavour. But again, not unpleasant, just different. Try a little bit of the pickle with the beef. That gives the beef a whole new flavour again, a different flavour sensation. This time it's very much like a soy sauce flavoured. It gives it a sort of flavour similar to soy sauce beef jerky. Interesting meal. Different, but not unpleasant. Personally, I would like to eat the beef and the pickles on their own together, and the biscuit I'd have as like a sweet afterwards, a pudding, the sort of, like I say, it's the sort of thing that you dunk into tea here in the UK. So, brief recap, there's not a lot here to recap. The beef is not as expected, it's stringy, very dry, and it's very much like a jerky, but without the barbecue sort of flavour you have with jerky. You have like a barbecue honey flavour on a jerky. This is just the dry salt beef, so there's plenty of salt flavour, but it's just the beef with that. The radish pickles, they're sharp but sweet. Sweet pickling sauce that they're pickled in. Very pleasant, both of them, very pleasant. And the biscuit, dry, thirst provoking, very pleasant. A nice smell of fruit as you open them. Not there as you taste it, the taste of fruit isn't there, but it's very sweet, dry, compressed. Very much like a cookie in texture, but a very firm cookie, or more like a shortbread, a Scottish shortbread we have here in the UK. So, I'm going to leave it there. In an emergency situation, a survival situation, that would certainly be pleasant enough to eat. There'd be no problem eating that. It is a food. You can tell it's filling. I don't think I would be able to eat 4 of the dried blocks in one sitting, but 2 certainly as a sweet. You do need plenty of water. So in a survival situation with this, I think you'd need to have a good water supply. If you didn't have a good water supply, I think it would be a bad idea to eat this dried biscuit. That would take away even more of your valuable water resources in your body. But if you have a good water supply, that is certainly a good emergency meal, which most people, I think, would have no problem eating. So, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching my Chinese Type 13 Emergency Survival Ration Menu 1. And please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. Thank you and goodbye.